Hello to everyone who watched this presentation. My name is Rania and we are from Group 5 with Sandrina, Ilham, Ariza, and Firman. We will explain about the cooperative and supporting affordable and clean energy. So we will start with the introduction. So, energy transition refers to a shift from the predominantly centralized fossil fuels based energy system, which causes high greenhouse gas emissions, so therefore is a main driver of climate change, to a more sustainable energy system, in particular a system without emission of carbon dioxide. So because of the energy transition, it will cause so much harm to the environment. So it is best to do things that is sustainable for the environment. There are a lot of things that could be done, and one of them is by making the cooperative that is doing something about the environment. So it is a key challenge and a unique opportunity to promote and establish community-based energy schemes based on utilization of renewable resources as a technically and economically viable alternative to current energy supply. Cooperatively owned renewable energy facilities introduce an element of identification for the involved citizens and create motivating and rewarding community process. This favorably contributes to a sustainable development along the three core dimensions, which are the environment, society, and economy. Active engagement of citizens represents a key element in the transition to sustainability. An economically viable community initiative implementing renewable energy to provide particularly good examples of those engagement, like the environment, society, and the economy. So, in conclusion, is that the cooperative that is doing something about to sustainable environment, they create such a clean energy, to make the environment goes better by doing the cooperative. So the next slide will be represented by my friend. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Ariza Pramono, and today I will be explaining about the types of renewable energy that could be provided by cooperative. Mainly, there are 5 types of renewable energy. The first one is hydropower energy. Hydropower energy is the use of kinetic and potential energy of flowing water, and they turned it into electricity. The next one is wind energy. Wind energy is the use of air and wind blows to spin electric generator to produce electricity. The next one is biomass energy. Biomass energy is the use of organic materials for cooking and heating, as well to produce electricity and liquid transportation fuels. The next one is solar energy. Solar energy is the use of foreign molecules that are released by the sun to be converted into heat and electricity or chemical energy. The last one is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the use of internal heat to be used for heating and electricity production. The examples of hydropower energy is when you see a dam and in a beach, you can see there are many power plants in there for the tidal waves and everything. The next one is for wind energy. The example is windmills. Windmills, there are many windmills like in Netherlands and everything. They use it to move the generator to produce electricity. The example of biomass energy is biodiesel. You can find biodiesel in Pertamina and Shell and everything. The next example for solar energy is when you find some solar panel located in RV or in buildings. Yeah, they're using it to produce electricity also. Geothermal energy example is, you can see there are many power plants moved by geothermal in Indonesia. The next one is the cost of energy by source. As you can see from the table on the presentation, the coal-powered power plant is relatively more expensive. It's costly more because it costs 12 cents to 13 cents per kilowatt hour, whereas compared to the renewable energy is relatively cheaper. For example, let's take wind power onshore. is only cost $0.037 per kilowatt hour. This is the gap that the cooperative could fill because the cooperative could offer electricity to people with the relatively cheaper production costs. For example, like if they're offering electricity with using wind onshore and compared to their offering electricity that is coal offshore, they could attain the same amount of margin, uh, but with the lower price because the production cost is also lower than the coal powered. Uh, the same way goes to the other power plants like wind, solar, biomass, hydro. All of them is relatively cheaper than the coal powered.
My name is Ilham, and I will explain the advantage of the cooperation in the production and distribution clean and affordable energy. So, for the first advantage is the catalyst for development, including the rural electrification. So, in the United States, estimate that 22% in the world do not have access to the modern energy. So, they're mostly in the sub-Saharan Africa and the Asia and the South Asia, and that the evidence confirm that the energy cooperative is effective in addressing need to the access modern and affordable energy. So this is from the this is from the World Bank in 24 that report that the United States Development Program UNDP report found the evidence that national decentralization policy and the role of the cooperative play in them. So the cooperative give the all the facility for the local actors in the develop planning, and they can help the scale up energy service delivery and the power through. So for the second advantage is the alternative to the traditional energy provider. So there is defined by 6 points. The first point is a better price. Why is better price? Is because that um, this is one of the issue that need to attention, because this is the most issue in the energy cooperative. So the cooperative should calculate the price for the transaction with their member to be close to the actual cost to the cooperative. So for the second one is the sustainable investment. So what it means is because become the member of the cooperative energy cooperative is the way to make investing social and economy in the sustainable development. So this is why investment is we can say that this is the can be in the social, because when we are in the cooperative member, we need to investing with the social, or we need to have a connection from to the social. Like example, in the Denmark and German, they have a advertisement that they promote, like they said that to be active for the climate and earn with it. And like in England, they have a campaign to promote their cooperative member with the reading ethics. So the third point is adapting and promoting to use the renewable energy. So what this means uh, to make customer, or this is to propose to the customer that need to reduce the environment impact. So The customer need to strengthen the market for the clear energy and encourage to build the more renewable energy generation facility. So the fourth point is the leading by example and influence energy policy. What this means is that when you are a member of the cooperative, you can be influence or you can affect people to be more influence as a contribution to better climate and energy future. And this is why is when a member in corporation are influencer can make the climate making better because they are promote of the cooperative. uh, and the fifth point is the promoting local development. Why is this is the alternative is because uh, as well as creating employment, including the green job or the energy at the local level. This is the energy cooperative can move from the single purpose to the multi-purpose approach. So the cooperative they might promote the local develop uh, through the offering additional service such as the microfinance, improve the structure or technical training or assistance to the innovative and the provide an issue. So for the last one is bringing energy produced to the local level. So for the last one is cooperative may be seen to be an alternative to more conventional setup to the higher centralization energy to infrastructure and one of the side with the end of the word active customer. So this is the point of the alternative to the traditional energy provide that to be advantage from the distribution and production in energy for the energy. So this is the last advantage in the production and distribution of energy. The last advantage is the source of innovation that the energy cooperative are proven that they support of the technology innovation. And for the example that there are suggestion that a small scale stepwise from the wind turbine developed in from the Dashi cooperative led more and successful design variant and dysfunction and pattern has wind turbine developed driven by the large scale business investment and research and development program. And energy cooperative are actively investing in the innovation that help improve utility system perform and the approach that ensure safety and reliability as a new power source become available.
So now moving on to the ways adopted by cooperatives to provide affordable and clean energy. So there are mainly three types of technology which can be used by cooperatives. The first one is solar photovoltaics. It is a system or device which directly converts sunlight into electricity or heat. The second one is wind turbines. It is the use of kinetic energy taken from the wind movement to generate energy. The last one is biomass, which is the utilization of biomass, which usually comes from heating it through combustion, and it can also generate energy. So for solar photovoltaics, the solar cell is the elementary building block for photovoltaics technology, and the solar cells are mainly made up of semiconductor materials such as silicon. And it is stated that more than 90% of the solar cells consist of water-based silicon cells. And as seen from the diagram on the right side, when the light falls on the cell, they transfer their energy to the charge carrier, and the conjunction between the cell will separate the positive charge carrier and also the negative charge carrier. And by the end of the process, it will extract electricity. And there are two types of solar photovoltaics system. The first one is on-grid and off-grid. The only difference is that in on-grid system, the electricity extracted will be conducted through the grid. And lastly, for the chart on the right side, it shows how the solar photovoltaics are becoming more and more commonly used worldwide, starting from the year of 2006 until 2010. Next is wind turbines. So the wind power itself depends largely on the amount of air, which is the volume, the speed of air, which is the velocity, and also the mass of air or the density. And because the technology relies largely on such unpredictable variable, there are several ways which can be done to improve the reliability of wind turbines. The first one is a good forecast tools and models. The second one is advancement in control system. And also the last one is preemptive diagnosis and maintenance. For biomass, there are there are mainly three types or three major sources of biomass. The first one is from the residues of forestry, residues from the industries, and also domestic wastes. And biomass heating plants are usually in small scale. Heating plants, they use usually wood chips or other collection biomass production. In this case, can be wood chips or wood pellets. It can also be set as biomass farm, and the system will burn the biomass farm, and by the end of the process, it will extract electricity or heat. And because it is small scale, it is also commonly used in small scale building for community.
Hello guys, my name is Firman Wahikurnia and I will talk about Germany renewable cooperatives. In this case, is Greenpeace Energy. Next slide. So for the brief history of energy cooperatives in Germany, they were more widely known as community energy or Bürgerenergie in early 1990s in the northern rural areas of Germany. And then they were founded as cooperatives in 2006 by the GRV. So it's established to supervise energy cooperatives in Germany based on sources of Renewable Energy Agency and the GRV. They have a total of 869 cooperatives with over 180,000 members as of 2018. There's also a data of an investment over 2.7 billion euros that was provided by the members of the energy cooperatives in Germany. But even though there's a lot of cooperatives energy in Germany, there's actually a declining number of cooperatives energy in 2011 because of the act to limit biomass energy as renewable energy in Germany by the European Union, and it was amended in 2014. So the auctions were implemented for wind and solar projects that has 750 kilowatts. Next slide. And here is the data from the Clean Energy Wire that the private individuals has 95% of portion in the energy cooperative. So there's a lot of members who is actually private individuals, consists of the husband, wives, child, and etc. And also there's also companies or banks, they are 2%, and farmers also 2%. And then there's also public institutions that also in Germany that shares a portion of membership structure of energy cooperatives in Germany. Next slide. So this is the number of new energy cooperatives per year. In 2006, they were founded just 8 cooperatives, and then there's a lot of improvement until 2011 that they have reached their peak in here, but then they have been declining a lot until 2016 because of the Act of Amendment imposed by the European Union that limits the biomass energy as the renewable energy to provide energy supply. And then next. So this is the business models of energy cooperatives in Germany. There are 4 business models that are implemented by the energy cooperatives in Germany. For the first one is photovoltaic or solar energy, like solar panels that are implemented in the housing roofs. And then also there's wind energy. So the members will invest in the cooperatives to actually fund the wind turbine, and then they will get the energy supply from the wind turbine. Next one is the local heating networks and bioenergy villages. This is actually not really common nowadays in 2020 and late 2018, because these bioenergy villages, they are limited by the biomass limitations that were imposed by European Union in 2011 and was amended in 2014. And then for the last one is energy supply companies. This one is the cooperative will become somewhat like a company to provide energy supply in their respective areas. This is like PLN in Indonesia. Next one is Greenpeace Energy Cooperative in the brief information. So they were founded in 28 October of 1999. They were not a cooperative back then. They were just an organization that supplies the power in small amount of energy supply. There's a lot of representative members, and they have a lot of members which comprised of 26,000 members, and they are comprised of 50 representative members, which will elect 6 supervisory board and 2 board of directors. Until now, Greenpeace Energy provides services such as nationwide gas supply for private and business customers, and power supply for private and business customers, planning, financing, construction, and operation of generation plants, and they also offer investment as a contribution to the corporate success of the power plant. So not only they give consultation for power supply and generation plants, but they also offer investment from the members. Next slide is the member structure in Greenpeace Energy as a cooperative. So for the upper hierarchy of the cooperative from Greenpeace Energy is the representative members, which are selected from 26,000 of the cooperative members, and then those 50 representative members will elect 6 of supervisory board, and then the supervisory board will elect the 2 board directors, and then the board directors will supervise the departments in the below. Next slide. So this is the system of cooperative in Greenpeace Energy. For the first one is the candidate members of the cooperative will need to pay 55 euros to become an official member. After they become an official member, they can join annual meeting to elect new representative members. They can elect themselves as the representative members that will elect the supervisory board, and then also decide what needs to do in the next year. Every year, the member can get profit shares based on the agreement of the annual meeting by representative members. And also, if there's a loss, every member will need to cover the losses based on the agreement of representative members. They will get the shares of cash in euro. If there is a loss, they need to cover it, so the members can support the cooperatives to stay relevant. Next slide is the sales data for cooperative Greenpeace Energy. There has been a lot of improvement for the sales from Greenpeace Energy. They reached 110 million euros in 2018. Next one is the profit shares for the members. In the below words, in the German words, they share 32 million euros for the 26,000 members. So each member can get 1,100 euros. Then next slide. These are the references for our presentation. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoy it and can understand the presentation well.